Hey, what's going on, everybody? Paul Birdsall here again, and welcome back to the .com report. What I'm going to do to you today is I thought I'd share with you a little bit of my own personal story because I really love reading stories or hearing stories on the internet, especially when I was growing my business for the very first time. They were inspirational. It gave me belief and knowing that I can do it. And hopefully, if I share my story just real quickly, you'll see that although building an online business is certainly not easy, it's definitely doable for anyone. And so let's get into story time. Okay. Basically, what I did was I hit the six-figure mark a little over 10 years ago now in my own home-based business. I'm talking yearly here, by the way, folks, more than six figures a year. And it took me almost 2 years to get to that point, though. And a lot of people, they hear stories online and see people making a lot of money. And there's no denying that there is a lot of money to be made on the internet. I'm living proof of that. But a lot of times we get out of perspective for ourselves, like myself, a trainer in the industry, and we forget that, we were just like everybody else when we started. So I think it's important that that you realize that even the successful people like myself and others, they didn't do it by clicking a mouse or in 1 month or a week or 3 months or 4 months. It took me almost 2 years to be able to get to six figures in the year. Okay, I think it took me 4, 5, 6 months to even earn my first commissions online and even make money. You probably noticed by now that building a business online takes a lot of work, okay, and concentration, and lots of early mornings or lots of late nights if you haven't had success already. But more like, I want you to think about like a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete. You need to have an incredible amount of desire, focus, and persistence to be successful. You can't treat it like a hobby. You can't, just think you join a company or a business and do a little bit of marketing and you're going to be successful. It's just not going to happen that way. I know that many of us don't really like it. You also need to structure and set rules that you need to commit to every day in order to be successful. Until I was able to focus on some specific things that I should be doing every day, I struggled. I was just really all over the map. I was like, a monkey bouncing around in a china shop. I just couldn't get focused enough to create success. And I'm here to tell you right here today, these are my 7 rules for getting to my first $100,000 a year online. Ever since then, I've went on to make over $15 million, folks. So, I kind of look at these as my benchmark and my cornerstone of some of the things that turned the corner for me, and hopefully I can convey that today by sharing those with you. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Get up every day. Myself, I get up at 6 a.m. every day. Now, I've never personally have ever met a successful person who sleeps in till 10, 11, or noon. In fact, every successful person that I've ever met gets up like abnormally early. It's like their fire's in their blood and they can't sleep. Often as early as 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, like myself. Why? Because they have to and they're desperate? No. It comes down to one thing, folks: passion. They're excited about the day. They're excited about building their own life. They're excited about creating the lifestyle that this type of business allows you to have. These are people who are accomplishing more in the first few hours of the day than most people do in a whole entire day on some stinky, stupid, 9-to-5 job. Okay? Number 2, I focus only on one activity at a time. We're all scatterbrains. I mean, I don't care who you are or how organized you are. We're all scatterbrains. Multitasking is one of the biggest roadblocks to success that has ever been identified. People who spend the majority of their days multitasking rarely ever accomplish anything of significance. I know because I have students that personally get coached from me, and I'll ask them what they did for the day, and they usually quiet and they don't know what they did, or they'll start to all of a sudden like stutter and ramble off a whole bunch of stuff, and they go, "Boy, I was busy today," and I'll say, "Busy doing what?" And really, they didn't do anything. Okay, so by setting off blocks of time, that's what I do. I get laser focused on one of the biggest keys of my business. Otherwise, I'm just going to run around in circles all day, and I still have those because I have, I'm human, right? But I block off little times. I break them into little tasks, little 30-minute slots or 22-minute slots or 45-minute slots or 15-minute slots to do the tasks that I have to do. Okay. Another thing that I do, I don't look at any emails until I'm done for the day. And doing my main activities, which I'll get to in a second on one of the 7 rules. Okay. Email, I find, is just a huge success killer. You know, when you check your emails in the morning, you're almost immediately going to lose your momentum because you're going to get spam, you're going to get issues, complaints, customer support things, and even worse, you're going to get caught up doing tasks that get you off track from doing the main ones that you need to be doing. Okay? So I actually recommend waiting to check your email until the evening, depending on when you're building your business. At the end of my day is when I check my email, so that you can spend the earlier hours when you have the most excitement and the most passion and the most fire doing the most important business growing tasks or IPAs or income producing activities, which I'll talk about here a little bit later in the 7 rules. Okay. Number 4, complete the most important task first. So what you should do is begin your day by focusing on the most important task in your business. Okay? And how do you determine what the most important task is? Well, the one task that will grow your business the most. Okay? Reading emails? I don't think so. Okay? Going to webinars? I don't think so. Okay? This could be creating content on your blog. It might be writing a guest post on somebody else's to create a backlink and interest in yours. It might be creating your first product. It might be writing your first sales letter. It might be splitting up split tests depending on what stage you are in your business. It might be marketing and driving traffic and building your list. Okay? The most important task of the day. Identify the activity that will have the most impact on your business, and then just focus 100% completely on that task for 60, 90 minutes of your day. That's the most important one, right? And basically, like I said before, what I like to do is set a timer, and I actually use my stopwatch on my iPhone, and I work in 33-minute blitzes. Okay, so then I take a 7-minute power rest, and what do? Well, I do a couple different things, and you could do whatever you want. You might want to grab a tea. You might want to go for a little 7-minute walk outside. What I like to do is watch hockey fights, okay, because I'm Canadian, I'm a hockey guy. Or I like to play a little bit of Xbox. Sometimes I like to go for a walk. I'll go down and grab the newspaper and come back. That's 7 minutes. Okay, I just take a little break to recharge again, then come back again for another 33-minute blitz. But the key is to stay laser focused on that one task until it's complete, and work it in little shocks if you have to. Okay. Number 5, move 3 big rocks every day. Now, lots of people have to-do lists, okay, and they're a mile long. And what ended up happening is the easiest tasks they kind of ignore. They do those first because it's easy to cross off the list, so they feel accomplished. Trust me, guys, I did it too. Okay. But here's what happens. The small, easy tasks are not the ones that are going to grow your business. Okay? So what you need to do is focus on 3 of them. So instead of that, making a big, long to-do list, instead you should just begin each day by creating the action list with just 3 big rocks. Okay? So yes, you have a long to-do list, just like I do. I have like 20, 30, 40 items on it. But each day I say, okay, out of those to-do lists, what are the most important 3? What are the ones that are going to build my business today? Okay? And so basically you just set 3 goals for your day. Then there's going to be 3 tasks that you'll be the most impact on your business for the day. Identify which tasks those truly move your business forward. Okay? And to give you examples of some of the things that give you high leverage tasks that are in my business, might be similar to your business. Just a few things. Split testing, solo ads, PPC, recruiting affiliates to sell my products, creating new products, writing personal driven emails or videos to my subscribers, doing webinars, training affiliates on how to sell my products, creating new tools for my affiliates so that it would be easier for them to sell my products, scaling up my PPC ads. Okay, and guest blogging. These are things that are important in my business. and usually they're on my to-do list, and I'll grab 3 of those and make sure I hit those and move 3 big rocks every day. Okay, moving on to number 6 of the rules for getting to your first 100K online. Write every day with honesty and conviction. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, as internet marketers or information marketers, you're going to be doing a lot of writing. Okay. Now, I outsource my content writing most of the time. Okay. But it doesn't matter. That's not what I'm talking about. Your general content, whether it be writing emails to your subscribers and thanking them, or giving them helpful information, creating new products by writing it out, writing sales letters, guest posts on other people's blogs, doing broadcast messages to create sales from your list. All of those kind of things are going to require writing. Okay, and you should always do that with honesty and conviction when you do it. There's a lot of writing in this business. I mean, you got to get used to it. Okay, but very few create personally driven content. Okay, when you infuse your personality in every piece of the content you create, people are going to be instantly drawn to you. I mean, just think about the emails that you get from me. They're personally driven. They have my own little personality to it. I imagine a lot of you guys right now just listening to my voice or get my emails or even my students and go through my training courses and things like that. I guarantee that you guys have a picture of exactly who I am. I guarantee that if someone said my name to you, you probably draw in your picture in your head based on my personality from these recordings, these helpful training videos, my webinars, my writing style, and things like that. So when you put yourself on the page, people are attracted to you because they see someone who they can relate to that's genuine, real, and it doesn't matter what your personality type is. You can be goofy, you can be professional, you can be serious, you can be really relaxed and easygoing. You can be nuts. I've seen some nuts out there that do really well. It doesn't matter. Okay, just be honest and do it with conviction. So by hitting people over your head with your offers, that doesn't work anymore. Okay, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And who they know, like, and trust is people that are just themselves, are genuine and honest, and they write with conviction, or they provide information with their convictions. Just think about my voice right now. You can tell that I have passion, that I love this business, that I know what I'm talking about. That's what people get drawn to me, okay? And you can do the same. And 2 of the biggest opportunities for entrepreneur this year are engagement and personality marketing, okay? It's proven that is what's creating a lot of success in this industry right now. Now, most people are going to play it safe when they create content because they don't want to offend anyone, okay? You got to get rid of that thinking. It's actually one of the worst things that you can do because people are going to actually walk away from your content with no reaction. Okay, so if you just play it safe, they're going to see you as boring, and you're not providing anything of real conviction. Okay. Now, inboxes and emails, people are getting, just get inundated. So you got to be a little bit more creative, just be more yourself, feel good, sparkle in some entertainment, and engage at the level that other marketers aren't willing to do. And when you do that, you stand out from the crowd. Okay. Now, last one, and then I'll let you guys all go. Okay, but hopefully you're enjoying this information, and hopefully you're seeing my story on how I got to my first 100K, and maybe you can implement some of these things I'm sharing with you here today. At the end of each day, this is huge. I do this every day. Maybe the other ones I forget to do, or I don't reach my goal for the day. That's okay, because there's always tomorrow. But this one I always do, and every one of my students, I remind them of this one every day. So make sure you're writing this stuff down. End every day by asking yourself these 2 questions, okay? Number 1, what have I done to grow my list today? As we all know, the way you make money online is to build your list, build the know, like, and trust in your list, and then provide value, and then you have the opportunity to share information that they'll openly look at when they know, like, and trust you, okay? So without building a business online without building a list, you'll struggle all the time. I mean, just take one of my courses. I'll teach you how to do that and show you why you're failing. So when you're doing that, ask yourself at the end of the day, what did I do to grow my list today? And if you said nothing, then you know you had a bad day. Okay, and it's your fault, not somebody else's, yours. Ask yourself that. What did I do to grow my list today? Did you do some advertising? Did you, did you do some guest blogging? Did you do some guest speaking on somebody else's webinar? What did you do to drive traffic to your squeeze page, to your list, to your newsletter? What did you do? What did you do to grow your list today? Okay. And then the second question, what have I done, or what have you done to serve your list today? Okay. So those two questions are big at the end of every day for me, and they should be for you, because they're the key to success. Because if you're focusing on those two activities all day long, which include into your three big rocks and the most important task, and doing one activity at a time, they're probably going to be related around those two questions. What did you do to grow my list today? And what have I done to serve my list today? One of the examples of serving my list is providing videos like this for people like you. Okay? Hopefully you love the 7 rules for getting to your 100K, your first 100K online. If you liked this content, be sure to subscribe to my brand new YouTube channel at the .com Report, and you can go to youtube.com/the.com Report. Also, like us on Facebook at our very brand new fan page at facebook.com/the.com Report for great updates and information there as well. And of course, always head over to the.comreport.com website for written content that you see in these videos to back up what I'm saying. Okay, and also to get on our newsletter, because we give you tons of exclusive information through the .com Report newsletter version that is not shared on videos or on our blog. Thanks again for watching. I'll be back real soon with some more great content to help you grow your business.